Welcome to another edition of Treasure Tuesday. I received a few questions on how to be a great coach, not just a coach or a life coach, but a phenomenal one. It's what I would call being a masterful life coach. If you've been thinking about becoming a life coach, or you are a life coach and would like to take your skills to the next level, not just your skills, but your confidence level, then keep watching. This video is especially for you. Her first question is, what makes a great life coach? Many people, I think, would answer this question with, well, if you have all the right answers, that makes you a great life coach. And I would actually say that that is the furthest thing from the truth. To me, what makes a great life coach, and from all the masterful leaders, coaches, mentors that I've personally sat with, they have this quality. And it is a quality that is absent in our world today. It is a hot commodity because it is so rare. And it is the easiest thing to bring into your life. It's really quite easy to become a masterful coach if you can sincerely embody this quality. Do you have any idea what it is? That quality is deep listening. To be able to genuinely hear your clients, and this can be applied in our relationships, it can be applied at work, this can be applied anywhere. I think having good coaching skills and good deep listening skills is going to make better relationships and a better life all around for you, for me, for us. And if you can master this deep listening in your coaching, it's going to take your coaching to the next level, because the reality is most of us, when somebody is speaking, we are already conjuring up some brilliant thing to say, and we're not actually hearing them. And oftentimes our response to them is not even accurate, or it's not even aligned with their question, because we have some idea from their first few words of, oh, I know where they're going with this. Let me answer with this. It's going to be brilliant. But if we just stop and listen and really take in that person and really be present with them, really be mindful, which means we're not up here thinking, calculating, agenda, how am I going to be the most amazing coach in the world? But instead, we're sincerely listening and caring about the person we're sitting with. For example, your client. You will notice that when you live this quality and you deepen in this quality and you're committed to deep listening, your client is actually going to feel it. Your client is going to feel a quality that is absent in his or her life. We're all starved for somebody to really see us and really hear us. And it's the foundation of my own coaching and the way I train other coaches as well. There are many different coaching skills, but it's hard to actually use those efficiently and masterfully if you're not really listening to what your client is needing and what they're asking for. And if you're listening, truly listening, deep listening, which involves feeling, intuiting, seeing them, what you'll notice is they're saying something beneath the words. There's usually a subtext. There's usually something much deeper that the client is saying. And this is something you can't really access when you're simply working with them on a mental level and constantly focusing on having the most brilliant response to whatever they're talking about. I could go way deeper with this question, but she has 3 more, so let's dive in. To number 2, how do you deal with not having the right answers to people's struggles? The reality is, as a coach, your job, if you want to be a transformational coach, there are many types of coaching. If you really want to make an impact in somebody's life, it's not about you having the right answers. It's actually about, again, deep listening and supporting your clients and arriving at and discovering and unearthing the right answers from within them. Because as challenging as this may be for most of us to hear, we do not know what is best for anyone out there. I don't care how experienced your life is. I don't care how brilliant you are. The truth is, your client is the one that needs to discover within themselves what is best for them. And sometimes that might look like they might be making a choice that you would never make in your life. Maybe your client cheats on their partner or something like that, and you would never in a million years do that in your life. and they're sharing their heart with you, and they're confessing this to you, and they're telling you about this in their life. And your thing might be you have to share this with your husband or wife immediately, and that might be your suggestion. But it's really important to deeply listen and feel and be with them and be a presence of acceptance in their life. Because for the most part, I believe, and I know this to be true in my own life, for my own personal transformation and the lives of my clients, when I can show up from a space of radical acceptance, okay, radical care and compassion, rather than having the right answers and making sure they do these, X, Y, and Z and do these steps to get to their dream life, if I can be with them and help hold a space for them, an example of what it looks like to love without conditions, to accept radically whatever it is that they're going through, and to empower them to do that for themselves as well, to let go of self-judgment, self-criticism, because that only creates more confusion and more pain. It's never actually going to help them come out of whatever, mess they're in, right? What heals is love. What heals is acceptance and compassion. It's not actually my job to be the judge of who they are, what their lives are, the path that they're walking, because there are so many elements going on in each of our lives that it really comes down to the that just taking a breath and knowing as a coach, it's not your job to have the right answers. And I think that's where many coaches get tripped up. They want to have all the right answers and they freeze and they don't actually go out there and become a coach because they think, what if I don't have the right answers? Or they try to give advice, do this, do that to the client. And the client, it doesn't feel good when you're just telling somebody what to do. What does feel good is when you encourage and you ask the right questions. This is a big part of my coach training program. It's how to be masterful at asking the right questions, develop a level of curiosity in yourself as a coach, as well as within your client towards themselves and their journeys. And what happens is, in the space that you provide, they begin to unearth and discover their answers. So the metaphor I like to use is, as a coach, there are two camps. You can think of yourself as either a potter that's like molding clay, and your client is that clay, and you're going to shape them the way you think they should be, given all the brilliant tools and techniques you've learned in your life and all the life experience. So you're going to shape them, and you're going to teach them, and you're going to mold them into what you think they should be. That's not interesting to me, because it doesn't actually create transformation, and it certainly doesn't reveal the unique brilliance that's in that person. It's just going to create a mini me you. And sorry, should only be one of you, because you're unique, you're amazing, you're fabulous, really. And there's a reason why we're all unique and one of a kind. So I'd like to see your client become what they're here to be, their unique fabulousness, right? The second camp is the school of thought that I come from and the way I move as a human and as a coach. And that is to hold space and to look at my client as, let's say, a seed. And my job is to create a space, a garden, this healthy, clear land to help clear out the weeds and create really fertile grounds with sunshine and water in order for them, the seed, to bloom into their full potential. So what do they need? They need space. That's where the deep listening comes in, really seeing them, coming into compassionate listening, caring, sharing with them. And also to supply and pour in inspiration and guidance and self-care and, to suggest things for their consideration, not you have to do this or you should do this. It's like enriching their soil, really giving them some options to look at and see what's juiciest to them, what feels best to them, and to encourage a conversation for them to start discovering in themselves, ask the right questions so they begin to clarify and step into a healthier life. In that space, they begin to blossom, and it is the most gratifying work in the world when you witness somebody bloom and blossom, and you see them go through valleys and peaks, and you see them bloom into their full potential. It's not possible to do that if you're kind of beating them into some idea of what you think they should be. Rather than giving the right answers, it's being in the right state of mind and in the right presence, like to be present, in order for them to mine up their own answers and to contribute and to share and to reflect back to them, so they can really hear themselves and make their own choices. The third question is, how long did it take you before you got comfortable coaching clients? I struggle with feelings of not being qualified to coach. That is a really good question. For me personally, I had the experience of going to a master's program, which was 2 years. And in that program, it was a spiritual psychology program. We were basically learning coaching skills or counseling skills. And then we were applying them right there on the spot with another peer, with another student. So I had 2 years of continuously practicing the skills in a very safe environment. So for me, by the time I got out of that program, and I was also applying the skills to myself first and foremost, I felt very confident and very clear. When I first started receiving money in exchange for coaching, I definitely felt pressure, and that was self-imposed pressure. And I think that's human, it's natural. We want to do a good job. We want to see the client receive what they came for. And I would say that faded as I practiced, as I continued showing up. So I think the more you show up, the more you coach, the more confident you become. I will say that your education is really important, to have some practice ground in before you get out there in the real world and start coaching, to practice your skills where the pressure isn't very high, where the stakes aren't very high, to practice with a friend or to, share with one of your peers. I personally am super excited to announce my 1-year coach training and mentoring program is starting September 30th. And basically, I am now opening up the Diamond Process Coach Training Certification Program to a few individuals who are aligned with this work. And through the year, you're going to have all this practice time. You're going to have the ability to practice all the skills and actually come into that state of confidence. God, there's so much I can say about the program, but it's very experiential. So that's really what builds confidence. So I'm super excited to announce this. It's been brewing for a while. We did a pilot last year, at the end of last year. And now it's finally ready to open up to a group of us to travel through the certification for 1 year. In this certification, I'll just say one more thing about it. What I'm offering is not just the coach training program, but also the Mindful YouTube University program. I'm extending that so that you also have you're building your marketing, you're building your videos, you're building a platform so that you're attracting clients. I've never actually gone out there and networked or looked for clients because of YouTube. My clients have always found me. So that's something we'll be doing through this training as well. I'll be supporting you in building your online presence so that you can attract clients directly to you, which is a very powerful and necessary thing, because you could be the best coach in the world, but if nobody knows about you, you're not really able to serve, right? The fourth question is, what is my intention when I work with others? He wants to know my personal intention. When I work with others, I do absolutely set an intention before every session. And what I share is my intention is to embody the deepest level of presence available to me for my clients' highest good and the highest good of all concerned with ease and grace. The reason why this is important to me is because when I am present, the highest possibility can unfold. So that's how I set my intention. Another thing I do is, didn't think I'd share this in this video, but one of my guides and mentors taught this to me, and it's really powerful. Before every session, I ask a higher power, source, whatever you want to call it, the loving intelligence, spirit. I basically say, please see through my eyes, please hear through my ears, please speak through my voice, please love through my heart, please heal through my presence. And it gets me out of the way, the little me that thinks I know everything, and it allows a much bigger possibility to come in to the session, a much bigger transformation. To wrap it up, it's really not about knowing it all, having all the answers, but it's how courageous are you willing to be in your level of listening, in your level of loving, acceptance, care, presence, and trusting that when two people are gathered in a safe space, there are miracles that take place. So much of it has to do with mastering your mindset so that you're available to being the best version of yourself during the session. So I hope that answers your questions and supports you. If you have any desire to deepen your coaching practice, your skills to be a masterful coach, to become more confident, maybe you're not even interested in coaching, but you want to have a deep personal development upgrade, please go to veronicacresto.com and just look under Mentor with Me, and you will see the option called the Diamond Process Coach Training and Mentoring, and you can fill out an application there. We're starting to take applications now, and oh my God, it feels so good. I'm just so excited to share this. So I was gonna wait to share this for a couple weeks, but I'm answering her questions and I thought this is the perfect way to announce this. So there you go, there you go. All right, my friends, I hope this serves you, your life, your coaching, your service in the world. And thank you for your beautiful questions, Sarah. And to everyone else, all of my love.